All right. Looks like we are ready to go here. So, welcome everybody to this Sunday's live stream. Nice to see some of the regulars here popping in. Welcome Vieira. Welcome Zabrina. So today, I think what I want to do is just kind of keep it simple and just do a bit of a landscape study here, and just sort of sink into that and talk a little bit about how I go about doing a study, and what kind of different techniques you can use to do that more efficiently, and sort of highlight the key elements of a reference image when you are working from a study. And so before we do that, I just want to mention quickly, I am currently opening up spots on through the new ESA mentorship program. We're going to be starting a group session on February 1st of a limited number of people, and we're going to be going over a 4-week crash course, essentially in digital painting and creating artwork of various different subjects. And basically throughout the course, you're going to be creating a series of paintings. We're going to be meeting up each week, going over them, and talking a little bit about how you can improve, and what you can do for the next assignment. And then by the end of the course, you should have a nice series of paintings and a better idea of what you can do to improve your own artwork. So make sure you check out the description below. I'm going to throw a link. Actually, I should probably, I'm not sure if I've done that there, but after I stream this, I'll definitely be throwing a link there. I'll drop it in the comments for now if you want to check it out. And just check it out. There are different options through the program, but this group session is only happening during certain times of the year, and there are a limited number of spots. So check it out. Sign up if you're interested in taking your artwork to the next level and improving a little bit. So anyway, that's my plug for today's session, and let's move forward and get started on some painting here. All right, I've got my collection of landscape references here, some of which I have taken. And oh, you know what? I just realized I got my big face right up here on the screen here. Let me change this to the smaller version. Oh, those are not posters actually. Those are oil paintings that I made in college, and I actually dug them out of a storage space they were being kept in for a while, and I figured I might as well hang them in my own place. So I actually, yeah, they're kind of nice. I never really had much success doing making, like selling the traditional oil paintings, or like doing the I like those have been in quite a few different galleries and hanging in different places, and that was just it was I mean, as I feel like I've mentioned in some other videos, that was kind of like in college, that was like the system you were, that was like the only avenue really for artists, and I never really quite related to it. It seems very, kind of, I don't know, it's just, my work never seemed to fit into that, and it seemed very like, kind of, conceptual, and I feel like it had a lot to do with, kind of networking almost, and creating perceived value in all these sort of abstract concepts, and I just really wanted to create like pretty beautiful fantasy art, you know, and it just never quite worked for that system. So I'm really glad that I found the digital medium and found a way that I can make a living off of this, that way, by creating digital artwork and commissioning it, or getting commissioned for artwork through clients online. It's been a great, really a great venture, and I think it came at the right time. So anyway, that's the story behind those. I was actually thinking of painting over them, not those ones specifically, but I have a few other canvases that I made with that series that were just like, they're just not good. Like I can't even bear to hang them here. I'm probably just gonna gesso them again and try to paint over them, because I do want get back into traditional oil painting again. I just don't really have the space for it right now. Anyway, I'm just sort of looking through here. This one's kind of cool. It almost doesn't look like a real photograph. But I like the lighting. Some nice atmosphere there. Not sure what I'm looking for here. I'm just going to kind of browse through. It's a tiny little one there. There's just some references I've collected over time. I already made a study of this one. I have another video on that. And that one too, actually. Those are both... I've made videos... Oh, and that one. Actually, I did not manage to get a video of that one. I thought I was recording while I was making that, and I wasn't. I recorded the first half of it, and then forgot to turn it back on for the second half. So, I don't know. Just got a few different subjects here. I did a Frozen. I actually have a video coming out this week of a 30-minute speed painting I did of like a Frozen landscape. You may have already seen it. I posted it on my various channels. So I'm gonna be I've got a video coming up about that I made on Procreate. For now, where was that one I was looking at earlier? This one. I really like that. I feel like there's a lot I could do with this if I wanted to like expand it into more of a fantasy piece or something like that. So maybe we'll just use this. Here we go. Yes, I'm going to be looking at this reference while I'm painting here. I'm going to hit Control, or Shift Control A. I'll keep this on top. This is PureRef. By the way, it's a great free program you can use to compile your references and use them while you're painting. I'm going to go into focus mode here. And it's probably a good setup here. I can almost stack them vertically. I'm going to keep them zoomed out for now, and I probably don't want to go any further than this at this point in the painting. So let's clear this. Let's recrop it a little bit. It's not quite the same aspect ratio. It doesn't have to be, but it's just, I don't know, it's a bit easier to start out at least. You can always recrop it later. I'm almost not even sure about the cropping of this picture. I feel like these rocks on the upper left are a little close to the edge. It's not disastrous by any means, but I think maybe that's something I might modify for myself. I'm not a photographer. But I do know a few things about composition. All right, let's bring up the ESA brush pack here, which you can also find in the description below. And let's just start. Maybe we'll start with a gradient here. Closely matches what I'll make a new layer, and let's see, I'm just gonna get a general sense of these colors. Doesn't have to be exact. It's pretty good for the background. There are a couple ways I could go about this. I could try to like develop it in multiple, like 2, maybe 3 layers, or I could just do it, the all-in-one layer strategy, and a more traditional approach. Speaking of that, hey there, Ernesto and Sam and Jose, welcome, the whole gang. That's right, all of the regulars here, and I see some of you have already joined the Discord chat as well. I can throw a link for that in the description as well if you don't have it. It's just I don't know. It's just an idea I had. I had a couple people actually requesting during these streams. I think having a Discord channel, just hang out and chat, and that's something I'm going to be using as well for these the mentorship program through the site. So, but for anyone who wants to join, there's a general chat there that you can just come in, hang out, talk to other artists, and talk to myself. Ask any questions, whatever you want to do. It's just a nice thing to have to hang out and chat a little bit. So, hope to see you guys in there. Anyway, let's get back to the painting here. I think I'm kind of feeling going with more of a traditional approach here. So, just going to readjust this tablet here, and just start making some marks. Doesn't really matter where. I'm just gonna try to key in some of the major shapes first. Got a hair floating around somewhere here. I'll probably, let's use this, the Big Thick Dry. That's a great brush to start out with, just because look at that texture and the color variety. It almost already is starting to match the texture of the environment. I'm actually going to pull my color picker over here just for convenience. So I can quickly make small variations to the color, even though this brush is already helping me to create a lot of color variation. Just because it, as you can see, it creates a variety of hues and textures as I put things down. But I also, it's good to get into the habit of making small adjustments to your palette as you work to deliberately create variations in color. And that's just going to help you get a bit more of a realistic look. I want to really get this nice saturated yellow-orange in here. Hey there, Adriano. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you around here before. It is a nice reference. It's actually an important point because choosing your reference is just as important as what you do with it, and you can create a lot of unnecessary struggle for yourself by choosing a reference that I don't know if I would say they're bad references per se, but there's some that are just not really set up to help you succeed, and maybe it's just some poor choices with the composition, or maybe it's just a difficult subject to paint. I mean, of course you can always challenge yourself, but I don't know. It's just a sense you can get for yourself to find references that will work well for you and sort of make your process a little bit less of a hassle. Hey there, Sahiro. Welcome. Yeah, nice to see some new people coming in, and some people from past streams joining us as well. The more the merrier. Where do I tend to go for reference photos? I what I will start with is royalty-free stock image websites like Unsplash and Pixabay, I think is another one, and I think there's what is it called, like photorefs.com or something, which is actually a website specifically for providing references for artists, and they have free content and they have paid content as well, so you can kind of pick and choose how you want to navigate between them. I think I have bought some references off of there, and you know, that's a good place to start, just because as a general rule, it's good to start with, or to try to find things that are royalty free, that are public domain essentially, because not so much for references. I mean, if you're just using it for your own purpose and you're making a painting out of it, it's never a huge deal. Sometimes when it comes to like photo bashing and that kind of stuff, it can get a bit sticky. So that's where I like to. That's really where I like to stick with those public domain images. But or you can just use a Google search if you're just using references for your own work, and you're not like republishing them or anything, or taking credit for them. Obviously, you know, that's totally fine. Obviously, you're gonna get the widest breadth of results from a Google image search, but they're not always high quality, so you want to check that as well, to make sure your reference images are sufficient quality for what you're doing. Yeah, I've seen people using Pinterest, excuse me, Pinterest as well. I actually have not used that personally, but it's been really useful for like sometimes a client will use that to post references for a commissioned work, which is really helpful as like a visual inspiration board kind of thing. But yeah, Pinterest is great. Actually, I should probably explore that a little bit more, but I tend to just I go through a search. I'll go through the various platforms I just mentioned, and just download them and sort them out into folders on my physical hard drive, and from there you can pull them into programs like PureRef, and or if you're working on the iPad, you can use VizRef, which is really great as well for working on Procreate, and those it's just nice to have them all compiled like that for me, rather than having to open up a browser or anything like that. And PureRef is nice because you can create these compilations like I just showed you. I have right here this compilation of landscapes that I can just sort of bring up whenever I want, and I don't have to go searching about for the right one, and they're all just sort of there. Just gonna modify this shape a little bit, do a little copy and paste, free transform and warp, just to get these shape proportions right. Merge that down. I'm just focusing on the main shapes right now, and creating a bit of interplay between the mixer brush and the harder, more textured brush. And I just want to get a good solid base of color here. Maybe even push it a little bit. Not quite that far, but just sort of mess around with this. See if there's anywhere where I really want to place my focus more than other areas. I want to pay attention to the contour of these various shapes here. And there's always opportunities for refinement as I move forward, but It's just something I need to pay attention to. And you can always flip it. For PureRef, that's Shift Alt H, and for Photoshop, I've went ahead and hotkeyed that to Control H. Oh yeah, and thank you for that reminder, because that is also another thing I use for references and I think actually arguably one of the best things you can do for photo references is just take them yourself. And you don't even necessarily need a very high quality camera, or I mean, you know, you can if you want. And sorry, I'm having some weird glitch happening with Photoshop here, where it's not letting me get back in the window. Odd. It's almost like PureRef is getting in the way here. Huh. Oh, I made a group out of this. Why did I do that? Just me trying to figure out all my technical difficulties here. I think I fixed it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, taking your own reference photographs is really really a good thing to do, a good skill to have, because it allows you to seek out specifically the type of information you need to complete a piece. I think especially with like if there's ever a character thing or like a anatomy thing that I'm struggling with, I'll set up a camera on a tripod, or if I have the right angle, I'll just take it from the other hand. But like if I need a hand reference or something, that's probably my most go-to thing, because as you may know about me, hands are like the bane of my existence. Despite despite all the time I've been putting into them recently, they still often elude me. So yeah, if I'm just confused about how something needs to look, I'll just take a reference picture of my hand in the exact position I want it to be, and you know, boom, you can just work off of that. That's a really great way to proceed. Oh yes, a traditional painting stream, that would be cool. I mean, I would definitely do that. Like I said, I just don't really have the space for the setup right now. But we could do. I wonder if I could even do like a plein air kind of thing outside. That would be difficult to stream though. I don't think I could do that. But yes, we need to get the Bob Ross bobblehead more involved, for sure. Nice. I'm liking the colors that are starting to develop here. Welcome, Frederick. Nice to see you here. There's a lot of good chatting going on here about various reference things. I'll try to get this shape up here put in correctly. By the way, I have elected to move through this in one layer. Of course, like that's something you can change if later on if you want to. It's just it becomes a bit sticky when because you kind of have to sort of cut out and paste things into a new layer, and then that's sort of a bit of a time-consuming process I try to avoid when possible. And like I've said, for me, often it's just simpler to work in one layer, or if you intend to work in multiple layers, you'll want to start out that way. Wow, that's some intense color there. Turn up this ambient music too, get this mood going. Lovely neutrals, indeed. Neutrals. Let's talk about neutrals. Whoops. Grays. This was like, I don't know, for me one of the most, for some reason it was like one of the most mind-blowing concepts for me, and I picked it up from, I think I picked it up first from Marco Bucci, but I've heard it from a lot of different artists. And using grays as an intermediate zone, and actually also being able to use grays to create color through context is a very important skill to have in your artist's tool belt. And maybe I had to make a video on that sometime, because it's just such, I mean, there are plenty of videos out there already. Do check out Marco Bucci's channel if you haven't already. Specifically, I think that was one on color harmony. So he's got a lot of great stuff on that. But, in short, you can use grays to transition. I mean, I can show you with the color wheel here. I have a reddish color here. I'm just going to make a new layer. And so here's like a pure red. And we can move a little bit closer to gray. You can use that as a transition to any other color, because all the gray is the common ground between them. So from here, I could move a little bit out to red's complementary, green. Or I could use it to move to blue. It's just this great, useful pivot point. And you can use these grays to create transitions between different colors, and also create some interest. I mean, look at how much more interesting that is than, this. Just like the two next to each other. There's just so much more going on between that spectrum. And then, of course, you can also use grays as a relative temperature device. So, for example, it's hard to tell with all this stuff here, because the colors are going to change with the context. But, if you have a very, warm tone here, and you move towards gray, the gray looks cooler. And even within the same color family, without moving into the blues, in the right context, this gray will look more blue against the warmer orange that I've just put down. And that's really useful, I think, also in distant objects, because the color, the variations between warm and cool areas are going to be more subtle with distant objects, because there's a lower contrast. I mean, if you look at the this area back here, the differences, there are still warm and cool shadows, but the differences are very slight. So instead of going all the way to the blue for some of these shadows, I would probably move closer to a gray. And we're going to explore that a little bit as we move forward with this piece. In the meantime, though, I'm just going to continue continue mapping out these major shapes, trying to get these colors down. I'm just sort of, whenever I'm in doubt, I'm just sort of flicking my eyes back and forth between these two. Just making that quick comparison will help with the accuracy of my shapes here. It's also worth noting these canvases didn't end up being exactly the same dimensions, but I can adjust that if I need to. I think for my purposes now, it's not really necessary, and I kind of like the wider canvas. So also just sort of blurring out your eyes, or like squinting and looking at, oh, this is all in the new layer, I forgot, and just sort of looking at things together. That can be very helpful as well. I'm gonna start creating some variation between hard and softer edges here, which is something I try to do throughout my painting process. And that's just going to create some interest and some specific focus throughout the painting. And of course, as usual, I'm just going to get lost in these clouds because I just can't seem to help myself. They're really quite fun. How do I use hard edges without making things look too cartoony? I think it's not something that I've struggled with myself, because I've just always had a bit more of a traditional approach and background. I never really dabbled too much in cartooning and that kind of stuff, but I think I understand what you mean, and it's a matter of using the edges as a design device rather than something to indicate object concepts. And here's what I mean by that, because that's very abstract. I mean that if you are drawing a house or painting a house, for example, or like a figure or something, your impulse might be to create hard edges around the entirety of that house or figure, to make clean edges to indicate that that's a separate object, and just to indicate to the viewer that that's clearly a separate thing, which is something you want to do in some places, but not in all of them, right? You want to be able to deliberately lose some edges and keep others where it's needed. And if you don't know where to do each, just play around with it a bit. Usually I will try to create lost edges during in areas of low focus and low contrast, and that will help again to channel focus back to the important areas. And I will use sharper hard edges around areas that I want to be high focus and high contrast. So for example, in this piece, if we look at the photo, this is going to be a pretty hard edge here. And as it goes with all of the different plane changes we see of the silhouettes of these rocks. Now, I'm probably not going to use hard edges for all of those. I might do it around here or around here. Anywhere I really want to draw attention to important areas and draw focus into important elements of my painting, I'm going to create a hard edge, because that's just naturally an attractive or eye-catching feature. But in other areas, maybe say over here, I can get away with making it a bit muddy like this, or maybe over here, because I don't want to draw attention to the corners of my canvas. So I'm just going to use that as a design device to guide the viewer's focus. And I think that will also address what you're talking about, Shalandra, about making things a bit too cartoony. And I think maybe by that, or by using the strategy I've mentioned here, you can get a bit more painterly with it. Got some very dramatic music coming on here. So watch out. Oh yeah, I was doing these clouds over here. Sometimes I just sort of bounce around between different areas of the painting. Notice how right now I'm actually painting with practically a pure gray. But look at how it looks in the context of the painting. It looks very blue. And in fact, everything I'm doing with these clouds is some variation of a very mid-tone gray, except these most saturated warm yellow areas. But even then, they're not too saturated. It's very subtle. But you can see, I mean, this cloud is looking extremely colorful because I'm using subtle variations of grays that, in this context, look very diverse. Nice. Sam just downloaded PureRef. That's sweet. How not to get lost at clouds when you are Well, I think it's easy to get lost in clouds, regardless of your skill level. It's just, I don't know, maybe it just comes easily to me. It's just, to me, it seems like a very effortless process compared to a lot of other things I do, because there's a lot of room for creative input and sort of artistic license with it. And this music, I can't do that right now. It's too intense. Moving on. Something a bit more chill. Ooh, I'm seeing like an opportunity for some violets down here almost. And by violet, I mean like gray with a very slight leaning towards violet. But I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it a little more than than might appear in the photograph, just to get a bit more color. Same over here. There's just some very, it's almost a violet gray. It's pretty much more of a straight up gray, but looks very blue and violet in the context. Yeah, really. I was like the Gates of Moria for a second there. Got real intense. Can't do that. Sometimes I will listen to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack while I'm working quite a lot, but my focus is limited. And sometimes it's a bit too much. I always try to cultivate a bit of a calm space while I'm working. And it's not always it's not always conducive to that. Yeah, I'm loving these clouds. Everything else needs some more work, some more specificity. I mean, I guess it all does. I mean, that's the thing about these studies. You can work on them for forever, basically. And you're never gonna be finished, but I would never, like, at this point be like, all right, I'm done, you know. I don't think it's quite there yet. I guess I think in this mid-ground, I'm missing a lot of key shapes here. There's a little rock right here. Just hanging out in the middle. There's a bigger one over here. It's got some nice reflected light on the bottom. Just saw your comment there, Jose. Yeah. I could put a Gandalf in here. It'd be cool to put a little Gandalf on Shadowfax here in the foreground. this is really a great setup for a character and castle piece. I might even do that eventually, you know? It's something I love to do. You start it as a study and then just sort of take it in your own direction, you know? It's probably time to start using some other brushes too. I like sometimes just get locked in on one brush for a bit too long. But I like to keep it simple. I mean, that's why I made this brush pack so, I mean, relatively small, but focused, you know, because I don't use more than, usually don't use more than 5 or 6 brushes in a given painting, plus like, you know, another 5 for very specific applications. I prefer to just have develop a brush that works really well for me in my process, and just sort of use that a bit more. Let's break out our a rough comb here. That's really nice for doing sort of landscape variations like this. Hey there, Matt. Welcome. Do I ever try to do an underpainting for digital art? People using colors like bright yellow, orange. That's a great question, actually. The short answer is no. I do value sketches, and then, I mean, that's sort of a underpainting, and then I will do a quick color balance and work up from that. So it is an underpainting in a sense, but it's a little different because it's probably a good practice, and not to say that you shouldn't, or that I shouldn't. It's definitely worth checking out, but I think, yeah, it's more of a necessary process with traditional painting, just because you with the traditional oil painting, you have to be very careful about your procedure, right? You have to plan things out and sort of build things up a bit slowly, and instead of just diving in with all these intense colors. I mean, for a lot of reasons, including just, you know, conserving your supply of paints as well. So whereas with digital painting, you can just do whatever you want, and if it doesn't work, you can just undo it, and it's low risk. But it's definitely a great practice, and I have seen, you can make a really incredible painting digitally by just using. I saw someone who was in this art book, can't remember his name, Andrew Tischler, I think. Walid was showing me this actually, and who created this beautiful landscape just using like, burnt sienna and ultramarine blue and white, and it was just so much color there because of how he used them in the context. But it's, essentially an underpainting, but because that's how you that's how at least I was taught to create an underpainting traditionally, was using burnt sienna and ultramarine blue to just create warm and cool variations. Yeah, not something I've really incorporated into my practice so much. I've developed a bit of a different strategy with things, but with a longer project, like I said, I definitely will do a value sketch, and that's very important to the process and for sort of plotting things out. Where can you find the Discord server? Let me send out an email about it today, and I'll throw it in the link of this video when I'm done here. Just because I don't know. Let's see. Actually, maybe I can just throw that in here now. I can move this over. Invite. I'll give you a secret invite. Actually, I have to extend that. Expired never. Throw it into the comments here. Boom. There you go. And I'll also be dropping the link to the mentorship page as well, for the group session I was talking about earlier. You can actually just, if you go to my website, which is currently in the link in the video description, you can find it there. Pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be very cool getting a group together and going over some artwork and getting those skills up. It's gonna be pretty fun. Oh, this is kind of a big mess right now, isn't it? Something I'm not quite getting here. I think all this just needs to be a bit more homogeneous. In terms of value and everything. Yeah. A lot of things that are not quite working with this one. Not sure why. Let's create a sharper outline, create some clarity over here, like I was saying before, because this is something I want to be a point of focus right around here. Might be useful to do a bit of drawing here as well. Sometimes when things are a bit too loose, I'll break out the pencil brush and just go around and do a bit of drawing to sort of capture those little lines and variations that you can't really do with a paintbrush, or a larger digital brush, I should say. Like all these little cracks in the rocks and that kind of thing. But yeah, the color right here is pretty wrong. So I'm just gonna adjust that. Uh-oh. No! Wait, please. There we go. I've got some other brushes to explore here as well. This is actually one I don't use enough. Might be applicable here. The Super Chop. Nice for little bits of vegetation and texture. Although I'm going to want to grab a different color for that. Not that one. Thank you. Right, save. Oh man. You say it. Am I gonna do it? I probably should. Not that it's a disaster per se if you lose a study like this, but I don't know. Every painting is valuable some way. What am I doing here? Gotta find the right folder. Digital painting. where do I put these? Studies. What do I call it? Two. There's already a 2. 3. There you go. All right. Yes, lesson learned with that last one too. Although fortunately I didn't lose too much. Actually, I still have to put up part 2 of that video of the water lady, whatever she is. What did I end up calling her? Water spirit, siren, something like that. Some little bits of orange and yellow over here where the sunlight hits the top of these grasses. It's really nice. I want to get that in there before I forget. I think that made a big difference for some reason. It's really nice. Yeah, this is a brush I ought to use more. It's really great for these textury things. And then we're gonna need to create some little dark speckles here and there, and I think it's gonna help us out with that. Ooh, I'm seeing an opportunity for some blues over here, or at least a cooler shadow color. So I pushed it all the way to the gray, and that's just gonna look blue enough for this context. And this massive of rock or whatever it is it's kind of elusive. It's almost a bit hard to define it because it's not a rock, really. Like it's partly a rock, partly vegetation, you know. So we'll see how that works out, but maybe I should create some harder edges here and there, and I think maybe that's something I need to do at this point. So let's bring out our lasso tool. We're going to do something a bit non-traditional here. Whoops, if I can make a proper selection. Now we can take something dark, really create a nice clean edge here. We can reverse that. Create some more subtle variations here. nice. Looks pretty good. We can smudge that out a little bit too, just so it's not like a perfectly straight hard edge here. And what else? I think there's another one we can create back here. Just a little bit darker than the foreground element. Where else? Think, yeah, back here. Just want to create something like this. And also, yeah, around the bottom of this rock. This shape right here. And reverse that. Got a nice clean edge there, and then we can sort of fade that out here and there, wherever we want to with our smudge tool. Now, I'm going to get out that pencil, like I said before, do a bit of detailing. Just to help solidify some of our shapes here. I did not really plot out these shapes as accurately as I could have over here. Glad you're enjoying the music. Just keep that rolling then. think we need a bit more specificity here. Let's bring out this pencil. So I'm getting very wrapped into this one, so feel free to prod me with a question if you want, but otherwise I'm just sort of getting a bit lost in here. Whoops, what did I do here? Alright, let's take a moment to step back. Let's zoom out. Zoom way out for a minute. Let's look at these. What's right? What's not right? Let's look at the shapes, values, overall color palette. I think that area over on the right is going to need some more work and development, especially towards the center. So that's a really nice point of high contrast and detail. I think there's some darker values around that area that need to be developed a bit more. There's some reddish light bloom hues around the that big patch of illuminated grass there. That can be incorporated. That's something I can quickly do with a linear dodge brush. If we set it to deep red-orange, we can just incorporate a bit of that here. Give it a nice bit more of a strong lighting effect here. We can work at this scale for a while, really. I think that's going to be helpful for me. When in doubt, zoom it out. That's what I always say. I've never said that once, but now I have. It's going to be my new slogan. No one can take it from me. When in doubt, zoom it out. Just going in here with my pencil tool and rounding out some of this detail. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but I mean, you're kind of seeing it. If you're full screening it, you can see it at the same scale I am. Hopefully the stream is high quality enough, but you know, you don't need to be seeing the details really at this point, because that's not what I'm focusing on at the moment. I'm just looking for big shapes and patterns. Honestly, I probably should have been working at this scale from the start, but I don't know. I got a bit carried away. It's just much easier to process the bigger happenings and more important elements at this scale. Oh yeah, that's what I was missing. So this is an area where I need to where I needed to create some lost edges over here, because there was just a lot of distracting things happening there. It's funny, it's just every painting, you know, every painting is a process of getting to know that particular painting. It's not like just because you've developed a certain level of skill, you're going to be able to solve every problem in there. That's why you're always learning as you're painting, is because you're going to hit new challenges and new ways to think about things that are specific to that painting. And you're going to have to come up with a novel solution that corresponds to that unique challenge.
Yeah, I gotta start selling t-shirts with all my catchphrases. Which apparently I have quite a few. Make it pop. I don't know if I can take credit for that one. I think I could probably take credit for when in doubt, zoom it out. I think I could probably patent that. I'll call it my lawyer. Get the paperwork going. I'm not, I don't think... I'm just not seeing a lot of, like, really good stroke quality here. So, I don't know. That is what it is. I think I just need to simplify this a bit more. And, the means of doing that is eluding me. Let's flip it. Suppose we can just dive in and get some of these nice. Let's go back to the clouds for a while. When in doubt, paint a cloud. That's part 2. It's not a very good one, though. I think there needs to be a nice hard edge here. Maybe I could go back to my big thick dry and think about making some simple, clear choices here. Just sort of making my brush strokes a bit more concise. I think that's it. I think this might be the solution. Yeah, it's already looking better. It's not. Here's where a good painting will depart from a good, well, from the reference photo, really. Because I've been trying to sort of religiously copy a lot of this information from the reference and not getting good results. Or at least not getting the results I'm looking for. And it's gotten to the point where I need to sort of take things into my own hands and just make some creative choices about simplifying the information in a way that's easier to process for the viewer and myself, as the current viewer. That's, that's one of them. As the painter and the viewer. I am both the creator and consumer of my own artwork. Did I run out of music? Nah, there it is. Yep. I think this is it. Get some harder edges around here. Let's get everything to be a bit less wishy-washy. Just like make some confident strokes. And where things are not defined for us, we can go ahead and just define them. Like, I need to add another plane to this rock that's facing the light, because otherwise it's just this weird amorphous dark shape. It's just not helping me at all. Yeah, I think I just learned something. I don't know. You're seeing it live. You're seeing my learn. I mean, every time you see a stream, you're seeing it. Every time I do a live stream, you're seeing me learn something. For better or for worse, you get to be along for the ride. Because if you're doing it right, you're always learning something. And sometimes it just doesn't sometimes it just doesn't come together for a minute, or takes a couple of paintings for that to sink in. But I don't know what I'm talking about, really. But yeah, I think I've learned something that's just very specific to this piece, but I'll be able to take that information and apply it to some other things later on. But yeah, from here out, I'm gonna just try to, I guess you could call it stylization in a way, but I would call it sort of expediting information, you know, making things just a bit easier to read. My teacher used to play metal music for us while painting. Dang. That's pretty fun. I mean, I don't think I could do it. Not that I don't like my fair share of metal, but those are different worlds for me. Those don't ever come into contact. Let's make there's some little clumpy things out here here in the grass. So let's make those. They don't even have to be in like the right place. It's just as long as they're giving the general impression. What other kind of fun stuff? Oh, let's use this. This would probably be good for the for all these grass clumps in the foreground here. I love this brush. It has so many great applications. The brush dabs. You'll see I use this quite a lot in the 30-minute speed painting video I'm going to be putting out this week of that that sort of wasteland, or the frozen scene there with the bunker. Do that, and then maybe take our smudge tool and kind of make some vertical. Look at that. It's almost like grass. What if we used a big soft brush and I don't know, just did some more atmospheric stuff like this. Okay, what do we got? 20 minutes? Is it too late to put in Gandalf? Might take a while. Let's try it. I don't know. Let's or maybe we can maybe can just do something simple. Maybe create like a something here in the middle. And then I'll put this on a new layer just because it might not work, but let's try something here. An army of Gandalf. Sure, why not? I've got all day. Making this like pixel horse here. Here's where I should probably get a horse reference because I know this is going to be a disaster, but we'll see. I'll keep it simple. Like I said, no need to get too complex with this. As long as the basic idea is conveyed here. The crowd. I know. Well, that piece. I started that piece from the thumbnail before. Actually, started working on that. God, there's so many unfinished paintings, but I was incorporating a crowd into that one. I was actually making a video about that, but I just haven't finished it yet. But it's definitely something I should probably do more. This horse is kind of looking like a donkey, which is fine. It can be a donkey. It can be shadow donk. Oof, my hand's cramping up here. Change the angle of attack. All right, let's give them some nice rim lighting. Not like it's even really super realistic, but I don't know, it's worth a try. Ooh, that's kind of nice, actually. And then give the horse ears some subsurface scattering here. This is looking really nice. Nice mood here. Here's about where my knowledge of horse anatomy is going to start to fail me, but we'll see. I actually did a bunch of horse studies recently. That was really enjoyable, but I don't think I've done it enough to really solidify all that. Did he have a saddle? I don't think. He probably had a saddle when he was riding into battle. I don't know, actually, though. This could be a zebra, too. That thought just occurred to me. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of a unique thing. You don't see that. You don't see that every day. Guy riding a zebra around. Acting all wizardy. Zebras are mean? Are they? I mean, probably. They probably don't want people around them, right? But I feel like an experienced wizard could probably ride one. That's my guess. Maybe I'm probably gonna make this guy a different color just because It's going to, or maybe I'll just make him darker. Oh, what am I doing? Am I drawing on the wrong layer here? No. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe he'll be like a purple or something. That's kind of cool. Of course, he has no legs at the moment. That's okay. He doesn't need them, really. Maybe he'll have some boots hanging out down here. This is all... I feel like this is all pretty crude right now, but... I guess his reflection then, or his highlights, will not be white. It'd be more of a reddish. Probably wouldn't be everywhere too. Wow, we've got some research going on here. Some Tolkien lore being thrown around here. That's cool. I can get into that. Got quotations and everything. He kind of looks like he's just melted onto this horse right now. It's just like a pile of goo. Oh boy. I think I'm running out of steam here. I guess I can give him like a belt. Something to hold his cloak to his midriff. Like that. That's a bit cooler, isn't it? Let's not get into any arguments about Lord of the Rings lore here. I think oh my god, I've had so many of those discussions with my friends. Actually took a Lord of the Rings quiz with it's like a trivia thing with some of the Evident guys a while ago. I did okay, but there were some like very specific advanced questions that it was like, I feel like they were more for people that had like a photographic memory, who could like recite specific passages from like specific chapters and that kind of thing. But a little bit of reflected light from his cloak onto the back of the horse here. This is still probably a bit too bright. There we go. I guess it's red now. It's sort of a reddish garment. Now, now he just kind of has weird pants. Struggling to get this this cloth to fold right. I guess it could like split in the back. And he's not he's not properly situated on this horse right now. Maybe I can... Ooh, wow, that was a good selection. A little quick select tool there. I think I just want to move him over. How do I do that? I just cut him out of the middle of the horse. Alright, let's do that. I think that'll work. Just have to fill in the gap where there's no horse. And then this is going to be more like that. Definitely going to have to find a reference for this. He still looks like he's inside it. I'm just going to cut away the parts of the horse that we don't need. That's going to solve my problem. Just less horse. There we go. It's better. All right, I'm probably going to stop working on this. I guess I should just finish off its feet or... no, I'm just going to have like blurry feet for now. It's laziness. Blasphemy. All right, let me just give it like a shadow or something. So I'm done. Done for today. Give it a little hooves, maybe. I don't know if I want to deal with hooves right now. But, yeah, when in doubt, just blur it out. That's what I always say. I'm just going to make this blurry so I don't have to work on it right now. Maybe I'll just stop. I'll come back to this. Whoa, look at that. Maybe he can just be on a cloudy horse, like a horse made out of clouds. Maybe that's my solution here. This horse is all... I mean, I can do something like that. Like, this isn't even wrong, necessarily. It's just much more painterly. So, like, I can... I don't know, I could just sort of smudge this all up. Just leave it kind of vague. But realistically, I should probably just come back to this later. Should probably give the horse a tail at least. I guess the tail would be different color, right? Let's use our trails brush, which is which I created specifically for horse tails. That's not true, but you can use it for that if you want. Nice. That's pretty good. I mean, probably just do something on that foot. Good enough for now. That's cool though. We did something a bit different with this. Put in a nice little character there. Important lesson learned: smudge tool equals instant water. Yeah, it's great for water. I do that all the time. It's also great for blurring out horse feet, which is what I've done here. It's not. Don't try this one at home. I'll probably I'll go in there later. And this could be nice though to develop further. Maybe put like a castle out here or something, or some kind of structure or rock monument. What happened? Did Photoshop? I think Photoshop just crashed. I think it did. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just not going to touch anything for a minute. And we're going to see. We're going to see how this pans out. Can I just go in here and I'm just going to hit save. Nope. It's not going to save. Could not use. Oh, I see. There was a message here that I couldn't see. So now I can save. Oh my god. What is happening here? Ugh. Okay. Save? Have I saved it? It's saved. Okay. I think it's done. Oh man. The program is rebelling against me. I don't know what's happening here. Can I just move it to the center? What if I go out of focus mode? Yep, wait, there it is. There it was. Boom. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, okay. It's going away. Can I? There we go. Look at that. You can see part of it. Zoom out? Nope. Ugh. There it is. Okay, well, this was fun. I'm gonna quit out of this program before my whole system crashes here. But thank you for joining me once again for my Sunday live stream here. It's great to see so many familiar and friendly faces here. Once again, if you're interested in getting a bit more involved with your art skills and developing that kind of thing, there are spots available right now for the group mentorship session, which will start in February. So you can find information on that on my website, which is in the description, as well as the brush pack that I've used throughout this painting. You can also find that there. And if you haven't already, I'm pretty sure everyone here has, but go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you all next week at this same time, and also keep an eye out for videos, or a new video this Wednesday. I release a new one every Wednesday, so I hope you all take care and have a great week.